yesterday IBM promised us privacy for the future. So,
Promises.
promises.
Well, evolution. There is some hypothesis of what firms are trying to think about brands. From 80, where everybody thinks that we will dress all Levi's jeans, eat McDonald's, to an idea of localization in these periods, where everywhere we are thinking about local brand, international brand, to a style-life brand. The Armani experience could be an example, and it could be a possible in 2020 identity brand. I'm in the world of an international brand, maybe Fair Trade and all the other organizations, or if you want quality definition of brand. So, why is a problem from a community perspective? Because when you think of brand, you have to remember that it's the two faces of a coin. What the offering system wants to be a brand, the identity of the brand, and what the brand is for consumers. What's the idea of iPhone from Steve Jobs to what's the idea of iPhone for my wife? For my wife, it's only a black piece of plastic that is opening in the morning when he wants to call to me, and probably today is open, and when she has finished to call me, she closes it. It's only a piece of plastic. In the traditional world, the communication process influences the connection between identity and images. But with ICT and new media, the power of this one customer was increasing. For example, the Nike experience about the possibility to identify where they are producing their shoes around the world was from a result from the customer. And if you are thinking about consumption and citizenship, and when you are not thinking about one customer, but a group of customers, this could be quite an important element of redefinition of what is the brand and the symbols about it. So everybody that wants to organize a brand from a firm's perspective or a non-governmental organization, or if you want a consumer organization, need to go through this process. The definition of a starting point, the idea of accumulation of a coherence of behavior of the brands and the firm's organization, the enlargement experience, and the activation. For example, Armani starts from the dress, and now it's arrived in the hotels. Or iPhone starts from the computer, now there's no more Apple computer inside, but it's an Apple inside corporation. So, two examples. One from a traditional kitwear producer, Italian, that I think everybody knows around the world. I try to find a brand that could be quite useful, that start from this advertising process, facing different type of problems that are not connected with the key producer, but are connected with the different value about the world. And it was from 1989 until 1996 with different campaign. But in 2001 was the United Nations Variety Campaign that was mediated by the Benetton Group. So the relationship between the brand that they valued can be changed also if you are thinking about the possibility of a big organization to mediate some values. And if you want, when you are thinking about interdependencies, not only with other countries, but also with other parts of the world, that is for the 96% of our DNA in common with us. It was the campaign of 2002. And in 2008, it was a problem of definition of new micro-credit process that was sustained from Benetton and also from a singer, from an African singer with a specific organization, Berima organization. So, everybody needs to do it. I present an example from the firm perspective. I can present an example of a symbol that could be quite diffuse around the world. This is a flag that could be quite, for different community of interest, connected with two different meanings, peace and the great pride. Different part of the world, different way, is the same symbol, is the same way of thinking about what we are thinking. And if you make the story of these two different brands, is a symbol, so a way of identification. Peace with this flag was a flag that was reintroduced in 2003, started from Italy and organizing different meeting organization activity until against the process of in 2003 invasion of Iraq, and that obtained in the 17th September of 2003 the biggest event, international event for movement of people. In that day, the estimation is more than 50 million people around the world go in the street discussing, if you want, or representing that idea from Australia to different parts of the world. Also in this process, they start with an identification of a product, a flag, with a lot of processing of definition. How they are able today of managing this process, we don't know. It's a way of definition of symbols. And on the other side, we have the same symbol with a completely different meaning, with a completely different image. So if consumption and citizenship could be connected to the production of brand, we have to discuss about how to create symbols that are able to organize group of persons for consuming, maybe, I don't know, a McDonald's, Big Mac, or for consuming an interdependency, or if you want, a connection between peoples. So all are needed to go through this process. If Benetton was able to organize a 20 years campaign, probably different organizations needed to organize a much longer way of processing. And some research suggestions for the three groups. I hope to face your result, Giorgio. Yeah. For the three groups. First of all, if you are thinking about global governance, a new theory of create new value, we have to think about the idea of growth as a brand that does not be only elaborate in the think tank, but must be accepted from the group of consumers. Because there are a growing process of new non-government organizations, but also of consumers that are thinking about, is important the growth process for my life? Growth and GDP are the real identification of utility and well-being of my life. We are thinking about the possibility not only to elaborate the concept, but also to communicate it, to identify this concept for the customers. Second, innovation and new technology. Be careful, don't miss the role of organizational innovation and market innovation, because if you think about only the technological innovation, we're not able to understand that probably the ability of customer to define their utility is bigger than from the technology point of view. I remember that SMS innovation is only informatic bargain. It was only, no, bargain, waste. It was a garbage from the informatic point of view, because it was only a way of writing 194 words in a small part. And technology without consumer is not a way of produce citizenship. And finally, if you think about the group 7, new corporate governance implies the presence of all stakeholders in the definition of an intangible asset like brand. And in that case, brand is not only a supply-side tools. It became in the communication era as a tools of interlocking person, of connecting person and value inside the relationship. So be careful when you define the value of your brands, because this could be quite facing different culture in different areas. Thank you.